So I'd like to introduce somebody who's always been at the end of the telephone for us. Whenever we think, we've reached the dead end, what can we do? We call up Jeanette Arnold.
Thank you, and I want you to keep calling. And why? It's because there's one thing that really unites us, and I think it's been said, we will not tolerate racism within our city. That's our starting point. Over the years when I've gone across Europe representing the city, which I had the pleasure to do when Ken appointed me onto a body representing London, one of the things that they talked about was, well, they talked about congestion charging, and then I'd asked them to move on. But the other thing they would talk about was the Rise Festival. And the other activities that we had going in this city. And those activities, what were they about? Was about saying we will not tolerate racism, we will not tolerate hatred in our city. So you can imagine my absolute amazement when I looked at the papers and saw that Boris Johnson, in his proposal, was taking out the funding for the Rise Festival. And I asked him why he was doing this, and the response he got back, that I got back then was, and I put it here, didn't really consider it appropriate to spend such a large amount of money on a single music event. And it wasn't about the purpose of the event, it was just there was a large amount of money going on a single event. And then said that that money would be spent on a number of events across London. Well, we know that that didn't happen. And then, as you know from what I call the Finsbury Park Massive, the telephone started to ring in, and we met up with Steve Hart, we met up with Megan, and I mean, everybody said to the Massive, you know what, if he's not going to do it, we'll give him a chance to see if he'll turn around, and we'll work with a petition and see if we can apply pressure there. But you know what, if he's not going to do it, then we're going to have to then get Londoners involved. We should not be dependent on any one individual who can just come in and say, you Londoners should not have a festival where you celebrate unity, where you celebrate respect, and the love of people that are here. The other thing that really upset me as well was I then had a meeting to say to Munira Mirza, who took over the cultural portfolio, that did she realise the strength of feelings across London about this? And her reply was, those of you who know me will know I am not a violent person, but I really got close to violence in my life that day. When she put forward this very strong argument to me. She said that, anti-racism's initiative set the wrong tone. Let me tell you, because they dwell on the negativity. Right? And so her programme was going to be about all that was positive in London. Because, when we focus on what's positive, you don't get discrimination, you don't get racism. As I say, if we look and we see there are other things that have been, if you like, taken out of our London agenda. The budget for Black History Month has been cut from over 100,000 now to 10,000. That's for a pan-London celebration of Black history and the contribution that people from all over the world over the years have paid to this program. And I won't tell you where the money, well, I'll tell you where the rest of the money is gone. The rest of the money was put to a USA Day, because we should be celebrating a USA Day instead of Black History Month. So that's actually telling you how ridiculous the situation is at the moment. We've seen the removal of the funding for Africa Day. And God knows where that money's gone, but it's gone. We've seen funding removed from the annual Jewish Culture Festival, and we've seen the programme of festivals and celebration in the heart of the city at Trafalgar Square cancelled. We've seen funding for St Patrick's Day cut by a third. And from this year, all receptions at City Hall focusing on bringing together minority groups to celebrate their culture, they've all been cancelled. So that just shows you where we are in terms of London, and so why, you know, when the festival kicks off, that message we're going to send is just going to be so strong. Because today I learned that Boris is also now cancelling any responsibility for working with travellers in the city, and he's basically saying, not me, it's not my responsibility, it's boroughs. If 32 boroughs are being asked to pick up this issue, it's just not going to happen. And that's why it's the responsibility of the mayor of our capital city. So we need to continue the fight, and that's why I've given you those experiences of what's happening at City Hall. As I say, I'll repeat again, I'm proud to be involved with Mike, Paul and Freya, and I call them, I say to my staff, well, what's the Finsbury Massive up to now, when they leave me messages. If we could just have everybody taking your can-do approach, you know, our city would be a much better place. It's going to be, because we're going to show the way. So thank you very much.